Good afternoon, family. How are we? Good, good. Yes. Good afternoon and good morning. I know we say it. Good morning. No, it's good afternoon. I want to invite you to just sit back and relax or just stand up and groove. This is our music segment with you this afternoon. Welcome to our viewers at home. We have a special guest this afternoon. I wanted to invite my very dear friend to the stage, LaTanya Shields Turner. She's in the house, and she's got some great music for us this afternoon. So put your hands together, and also put your hands together for yourself, for showing up, getting out of the sun and showing up here in this beautiful environment this afternoon. I want you to say with me, I am enthusiastic about life.
I am enthusiastic about
and life is enthusiastic about me.
life is enthusiastic.
All right, let's have a good time. Let's have some fun. Inspiration.
How's everybody doing this afternoon? You're so used to going to church and say, good morning. Yes. I want to give Penelope a minute. She is my official musical director this afternoon. And so I want to tell you, first of all, I'm excited to be here, and I love your new home. This is gorgeous. This is absolutely gorgeous. Hey, love, how are you? It's like old home week. Yes, indeed. But I'm so excited to be here. When Penelope called and she asked me to come and just share some great music with you, and I was thinking, what could I do? So I thought about when I was growing up, I would always spend the weekends with my grandmother. And on Sunday morning, we'd get up and get ready for church. And, you know, she'd get me all dressed and she'd spray a little perfume on me. I was feeling real cute, you know. And then we'd go on to church. And when we got to the church, we would see these ladies with these great big hats on. And they would just march on into the church, you know. And then you'd have the choir. They're lined up at the door in their choir robes, you know, just rocking back and forth. That's it.
Yep.
And the congregation get to clapping just like that right there. What a fellowship, what a joy divinely leaning on the everlasting arm. What a blessedness, what a peace is mine leaning on the everlasting. My choir would go, leaning, yes I'm leaning, I'm safe and secure from all along. Leaning, yes I'm leaning on the everlasting arm. Oh, how sweet to walk in this pilgrim's way, leaning on the everlasting arm. Oh, how bright the path grows from day to day, leaning on the everlasting arm. Lean with me. Leaning, yes I'm leaning, I'm safe and secure from all alone. Leaning, yes I'm leaning on the everlasting arm. What have I to dread? You remember that? Yeah, that's what it was. That was like the best time. Where do I go when there's nobody else to turn to? And who do I talk to when nobody wants to listen? And who do I lean on when there's no foundation stable? I go to the rock, he's able. I go to the rock. I go of my salvation. I run to the stone the builders rejected. I run for the mountain, and the mountain he stands by me. When the earth all around me is sinking sand, on Christ the solid rock I stand. When I need a shelter, where do I go? Where do I go when the storms of life are threatening? Who do I turn to when the winds of sorrow blow? And is there a refuge wherever you'd in a time of tribulation? I go to the rock, he's able. I go to the rock. I go my salvation. I run to the stone the builders rejected. I run for the mountain, and the mountain he stands by me. When the earth all around me is sinking sand, on Christ the solid rock I stand. When I need a shelter, I go of my salvation. I run to the stone the builders rejected. I run for the mountain, and the mountain he stands by me. When the earth all around me is sinking sand, on Christ the solid rock I stand. When I need a shelter, when I need a friend, when I need some shelter, when I need some love at all, I go to the rock. You can 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 go to the rock. I can go when I need some shelter, when I need some love and care, when I need some support, when the earth around me is sinking sand. I can go to the rock. I can go. I can go. You can go. We can go when the earth around me is sinking sand. On Christ the solid rock I stand. When I need a shelter, you can go to the rock. Thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank you. While you're still standing, and if it feels good in your seat, that's all right too. I know that you think you can't pray after that mistake, but I know it's the only way you can make it better. And I know situations get too hard for you to take, and you feel like you gon' break, and it makes you say, I can't take it. When things get better, I'm so frustrated, but it's gonna gonna be okay, 'cause I got someone in my corner who's gonna be there for you. Just fall on your knees, say your prayer and receive. When the world feels like it's on your shoulder, when your life seems like it's upside down, when your lonely nights are getting colder, I pray you pray. No matter how much today, I know you think you're going too far and you waited too late, but I know and that He loves you and there's no love greater. I know and that you want your pain to end right now, right now, right now. When the world feels like it's on your shoulders, oh, when your life seems like it's upside down, when your lonely nights are getting colder, I pray you pray. No matter how dark the day, when the world feels like it's on your shoulders, oh, when your life seems like it's upside down, and when your lonely nights are getting colder, I pray you pray. No matter how dark the day, just say, Our Father which art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. All you gotta do is say, Our Father which art in heaven. Just fall on your knees, say your prayer and receive. When the world feels like it's on your shoulder, oh, when your life seems like it's upside down, when your lonely nights are getting colder, I pray you pray. No matter how dark the day, oh, when the world feels like it's on your shoulder, oh, when your life seems like it's upside down, when your lonely nights are getting colder, I pray you pray. No matter how dark the day, do is pray. Oh, all you do is pray. Pray, get down on your knees and pray. Pray, I pray you pray. No matter how dark the day, do is pray. Thank you. Thank you, thank you. Some of you have heard this song. You know, back then when you go to church and somebody say, how you doing? And the sisters would say, I'm blessed and highly favored. Yeah, and that's what it is. I am blessed and highly favored. Waking up, thanking God. Every day is feeling just like Sunday. Hubby fly by my side. Green light, everything is going my way. Living clean, living dreams. Just left the nail shop, I'm feeling like Midas. What's to say? Give him praise. What's in the water got you acting like this? Ain't a day go by I don't try to thank the Lord up above. And if you wonder why I'm loving life, come close and I'll tell you what's up. Ask me how I'm doing, I'm blessed, yes. Living every moment, no regrets. Smile up on my face, I'm like, oh, yes, I'm blessed, yes, I'm blessed, yes. Ask me how I'm doing, I'm blessed, yes. Living every moment, no regrets. Smile up on my face, I'm like, oh, yes, I'm blessed, yes, I'm blessed, yes. Laughing hard, playing cards, barbecuing, waking up the whole block. Music's loud, turn it out. Little kids are breaking out the bus stop. Life is good, really good. And every moment, no, I can't forget. I must say, I won't change. You're the reason that I act like this. Ain't a day go by I don't try to thank the Lord up above. And if you wonder why I'm loving life, come close and I tell you what's up. Ask me how I'm doing, I'm blessed, yes. I'm living every moment, no regrets. Smile up on my face, I'm like, oh, yes, I'm blessed. Yes, I'm blessed. Yeah. Ask me how I'm doing, I'm blessed. Yes. Living every moment, no regrets. Smile up on my face, I'm like, oh, yes. I'm blessed, I'm blessed, I'm blessed, I'm blessed. I'm blessed, I'm blessed, I'm blessed. I'm blessed, I'm blessed. I'm blessed, I'm blessed. Ask me how I'm doing, I'm blessed. Yes, I'm living every moment, no regrets. Smile upon my face, I'm like, oh, yes, I'm blessed, I'm blessed, I'm blessed, I'm blessed. Just ask me how I'm doing, I'm blessed. Yes, I'm living every moment, no regrets. Smile upon my face, I'm like, oh, yes, yes, I'm blessed, I'm blessed. Ask me how I'm doing, I'm blessed. Yes, I'm living every moment, no regrets. Smile upon my face, I'm like, oh, yes, I'm blessed, I'm blessed. One more time, say, ask me how I'm doing, I'm blessed. Yes, I'm living every moment, no regrets. Smile upon my face, I'm like, oh, yeah, I'm blessed, I'm blessed, I'm blessed, I'm blessed. I'm blessed, yes, I'm blessed. Oh, I'm blessed. I'm blessed. I'm blessed. Yes, I'm blessed. He loves me. I'm blessed. 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 Oh, I'm blessed. Thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Oh, you guys are so sweet. Thank you. Bless your heart. Hallelujah. Thank you so much. Thank you, thank you. When life seems cruel and so unfair, with each new day it seems a greater problem's waiting there. With each step forward I take, seems I get pushed 2 steps behind. Don't think I'm gonna make it sometimes. Don't think my nerves can take it this time. As I'm about to call it quits, a solution comes to mind. Why not trust God again? I know that He can do it if I pray again, believe again. I know that He can do it for my good again. I know that He will see me through it all if I trust in God again. Is there a mountain standing in your way? Is there a loved one you're worried about today? Is there a blessing you desire that seems intangible? Instead of giving up the fight, just cling to faith with all of your might. The one who's seen you through before is still able. He's still able. My granny would say, 'tis so sweet to trust in Jesus, just to take Him at His word. again. I know that God will work it for my good again. I know that He will see me through it all. Through it all.
God again.
I know that He can do it if I pray again. I just believe again. I know that God will work it for my good again. I know that He will see me through it all if I trust in God again. Ooh, yes, I will. I surely will. Yes, I will trust in God again. When my friends disappoint me, I will. When my family turns their back on me, I will. I promise I will trust in God again. Oh, yeah, I will. Yes, I will. Hey, I will. Yes, I will. I surely will. Yes, I will. I'll trust in God. I'll trust in God again. I will trust in God again. Thank you.
Excuse me. Tanya Shields. Yes, ma'am. Look at you carrying all that stuff. She will be back. And she has been touring, I will say that. She has been touring. She was in Chicago last week, South Carolina this weekend. Got home at something this morning. So we're so honored to have her here with us this afternoon. Yes, we are. Open your mind, unfold your heart, relax your senses, feel every part. You ain't got a thing to fear, looks like love is growing here. So take your guard and let it down. Go deeper still until you come unwound. Unbound. Breathe every breath. Release your cringe. Love without waiting, slowly unhinge. You ain't got a thing to fear, looks like love is growing here. So take your guard and let it down, go deeper still until you come unwound. Unbound.
As I step into this nowness of time, I'm unwound because I'm unbound. And I dig deep to the depths of my soul, and this is what comes up, because this is what I know. I know that God is all there is, one power, only the one. And I resonate with this power. It goes in and through me as me to demonstrate all of it out into the universe. That is my purpose. My passion is life, living life to the fullest and allowing Spirit to use me to the end of my time. God is all there is. I'm open at the top and I allow the influx of downloading to just come through and saturate my entire being. Because I know the Spirit leads, mind follows, and body belongs. These words are not only for me, but for everyone in the sound of my voice, lifting them up to higher heights of consciousness. Because they have the power within them to be, to have, to do all that they desire. Because God goes before you and straightens everything out and says, here it is, step into it. I'm so grateful for this place, Spiritual Living Center of Atlanta. It guides me, it leads me, it teaches me to live a better life, a way of living for my highest good. This is my truth. I live on it. I meditate on it. I do my daily practice, daily saying, I am. I am. I am. And I know that whatever I put behind I am, I become. I am prosperous. I am love. I am joy. I am harmony. I am abundant. I am perfect health. I stand on this truth, and I know it to be. I bless everyone. Bless everyone. God comes through. God is the ultimate. Just feel that energy in here. Feel that Spirit just moving through this place right now. I feel it just energizing my entire being. I give thanks, God. I'm so grateful. I'm so grateful for Reverend David Alexander. Just always speaking the word, letting Spirit come through him and lifting everyone up. For all the practitioners, all the ministers, for all the congregation that comes and is still coming. I see them. I vision that and I say it to be. I have spoken these words with power, authority, and conviction. I release them into the universe, knowing it is done now and forevermore. If you agree with me, simply say, and so it is.
You can't stop waiting for love to find you. Look inside your heart, love's already who you are. So lift up your voice, let it be heard. Tell me your story, tell it to me, don't leave out a word. 'Cause I think I have been there too. I'm a seeker just like you. You ain't got a thing to fear. Looks like love is growing here. So take your guard and let it down. Go deeper still until you come unwound. Yeah. Unbound. Thank you, Al. Thank you.
All right. Good afternoon. Spiritual Living Center of Atlanta, here we are. Good afternoon. There you are. Let's get some energy in here. I'm David Alexander. I'm the spiritual director here. My pronouns are he and his. I'm delighted to welcome you into this spiritual experience. We are a part of a global movement called Centers for Spiritual Living. We're delighted you are here today. Let's give some more love to our music ministry. LaTanya Sugarlips Shields here today. Yeah. We had some church already this afternoon with that song selection. I loved it. I was having a good time. Looking for the tambourine under my seat. Still waiting for somebody to bring one. Somebody said they had one in their car a couple weeks ago. I don't know where that person is. All right. We are continuing our series on purpose and passion this week, focusing on that all month long. I'm excited to do part 2 for you today. Today's affirmation is real simple as it focuses on this idea, and it is this. I am an individual creation of life. No, that's not it. Well, that's it. It is, and so it is. That's actually last week's, but we're going to run with it. It's okay. The sermon will still work. I am an individual creation of life, born on purpose, in purpose, with passion. I'll do it one piece at a time, and we'll do it all together. And you know what? We're going to make this the affirmation for the whole series. God has decided. Sometimes you tell the universe what to do, and sometimes the universe tells you what to do. But that's all right. This works. So let's take a deep breath. I'll say a piece, and then you repeat it after me. I'm an individual creation of life. Born on purpose. In purpose. With passion. Let's say it together. Deep breath. I am an individual creation of life, born on purpose, in purpose, with passion, and so it is. Good afternoon. Give yourselves a handshake, a hug. Good morning. Glad you're here today. LaTanya. Yeah.
How appropriate that affirmation was. The next song that I'm going to do is called Finally It's Love. And it comes from my first solo CD project. And the whole CD is about love. It is about love for other people. It is about love for God. But this particular song is about love for your very own self. And so how appropriate, okay? So let's talk about finally it's love. In the shadow is where I used to be, hiding from the world, unaware of the precious jewel I was meant to be. I didn't know I could shine. I let the world make me believe I wasn't good enough. The way I look was sometimes too much. But then a voice within said, I got you, you can win. Here's where your life will begin. Finally, it's love. I'm in love with me. I've had some heartache and pain. I've seen some sunshine and rain. But they're all the pieces of me. I started to see what was always inside of me. I'm going far, being my own star. Trusting what I'm made of, filled with gifts from above. With all God makes, He makes no mistakes. I thank Him every day for loving me this way. So glad to stand up and say that finally it's love. I'm in love with me. Ooh, it's love. I'm in love with me. My head is lifted higher, fabulous fierce survivor, not looking down, standing tall, wearing my crown. I see it so much clearer, nothing to be in fear of. I was created to be great. I'm smart, I'm kind, I am important. Finally, it's love. I'm in love with me. Ooh, it's love. I'm in love with me. Ooh, living and loving on my own terms. I'm in love with me. Got my big girl shoes on, standing on my own 2 feet. I'm in love with me. Love, da, 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 la, da, da, da. Finally, it's love. It's love. Thank you.
Natanya. Yeah. We're going to have you come up here and give a testimony how you got your nickname, though. Oh, yes. How y'all doing? Take a breath. Let's affirm together. I am awake. I am awake. I am awake. I am available. I'm available. I'm available. I am enough. I am enough. I am enough. And I am ready. I am ready. I am ready. Let's go. All right. To wake up all of our senses with that activation. I like to call it the activation affirmation. To third eye, energy centers all the way through as we open up to this series. This is part 2 of My Passion, My Purpose. And last week we unpacked some things to talk about what purpose really is. And this week we're going to talk about how to percolate our passion energy into our purpose just a little bit deeper. The tools for today are these. The spiritual principle, and these are the same throughout the series. The spiritual principle is that of love, because ultimately love is what it's all about. Finally, it's love, right? The spiritual law is joy, and we unpacked this a little bit last week, saying that joy is the sound that integrity makes, right? Joy is the sound that so when we talk about purpose and passion, we're really talking about alignment. Often we talk about expressing joy. I want to express joy in my purpose of my life. I want to express joy in my relationships or my career or whatever it is that I'm doing. I want to be about joy. And when we say that, or when we hear that inside of our soul about what's aching or what's missing, and we say we want to cultivate and find that joy, what we're really saying, or what the universe is saying to us, is that there's an integrity issue. Right? You actually want alignment with your purpose. So the spiritual law is joy. That's how it works. It works through alignment. And the spiritual practice is awareness. This is about opening our eyes and becoming aware of the love that is present, the purpose that is ingrained in us and in the universe, and how to bring those things into alignment. And so today is the second part of the series. Today is really all about positioning. It's all about positioning, being in the right position. Sometimes we don't want to do what God, the universe, infinite intelligence, however you want to define that term, he, she, it, the infinite intelligence. Sometimes we don't want to answer that call of what is in front of us because we don't see how it could relate to our purpose. We don't see the joy in it. We don't see we don't see it giving back to us. We see it as mundane or boring or off track or not enough or whatever it might be. But today I want to talk about positioning, and sometimes we have to be in position so that we can receive the skill set that we need in order to be available to the purpose that is calling us. We got to be in position to get the skill set that we need so that we can be available to the purpose that is calling us. Clear? That's what it's about. So, for an example, a great story in the biblical text and in the Old Testament, story of Jonah and the whale. How many of you know Jonah and the whale? Because it doesn't say whale, it says big fish, right? Could have been a tuna, but we're not sure. But the story of Jonah is really all about it. It's the story of an individual, Jonah, who doesn't want to be in position to hear God's greater call or the purpose for his life at that particular time, right? Now notice what, a biblical story, any kind of sacred story, is always as much about what it says as it is about what it doesn't say. And so what I love about this particular story is that what it's saying is that Jonah clearly doesn't want to be available to the call that is going out for his purpose. But the story also then applies that doesn't mean just because you're not hearing or just because you're in resistance to the purpose or the call upon your life at any particular time doesn't mean that the universe isn't calling. Right? Doesn't mean that the universe isn't calling. God's still calling. The purpose is still embedded in the infinite intelligence of the universe. So in this particular case, God calls to Jonah and says, Jonah, I want you to go to this city, this foreign land, and tell these folks in Nineveh, is where the city is, and it's, kind of far away from where he's at. And so he's got to pack up his stuff and travel there and get there, and, it's hot and all, he's got to think about all the things, and you got to tell these folks that they are acting up. They're outside of God's will, and if they don't straighten up and act right, then I'm going to wipe them out. And Jonah thinks to himself, well, number one, it's way over there, and I really don't like going to that side of town. And so, it's like, it is way OTP. It is out there. I ain't venturing out there. I got to pack a sandwich just to get OTP, And so he says, I'm not going. He says, and besides the fact that that's a whole different tribe of people. They're not even kinfolk of mine. And so, God, you're saying you're going to wipe them out if they don't. It's fine with me. Go ahead and wipe them out. It's all right. Won't bother me none. And so, God keeps pleading with him. I need you to do this. This is your assignment. And so God won't. You ever have something just not leave you alone? Just keeps talking at you, just keeps, ticking away at you. So he gets up and he goes to the port city where he would go and get on a ship to take him where he needs to go to get closer to Nineveh. And he sees another ship. It's going to a much more fun place, right? It's going to Vegas, And he's like, yeah, I'm going to take that one. I'll tell you what, I'm just going to tell God I was here, and I just, hopped in the wrong Uber, and, got my destinations mixed up. I tell you what, I'll get to that place a little bit later. I'm going to go have me some fun. And so he decides to take a detour. And what happens in that detour? Right, if you know anything about the story, you know he's out on that boat. They take him in. He doesn't even help out being part of the crew. He's down in the lower deck taking a nap. And there's all this trouble at sea. There's a storm, and the ship is rocking, and it was supposed to be a clear day for sailing, and so the crew doesn't understand what's happening, and they start thinking all kinds of things. Of course, they're, reflective of the culture at the time. They're begging and pleading with God and trying to figure out, and they're questioning each other. Did you say something bad to God? Did you do something? Did you forget to pray this morning? Who messed up, right? Who did what? Right? And they can't figure it out. Everybody on the crew is like, no, I'm clean, I'm good. I did what I was supposed to do today. I'm good. And finally, Jonah wakes up. He is not even aware that it's happening, right? Oblivious to the storm. See, so catch that, right? Oblivious. Matter when we're not focused on our purpose, but we are at the same time asleep to the storm or to the trouble that's happening, right? We don't see how it's affecting us. We don't see how it's affecting other people. He's literally resting in his privilege of just being on a tour, right? I'm just taking a nap, taking a ride, and you all figure it out. I ain't even part of the crew of this ship, so, figure it out, right? And finally he wakes up and they're troubled, and they're like, and he says, what's going on? So it's a storm, and we're tossing about, and we're taking on water. None of this should be happening. And finally he wakes up, he goes, oh, you know what? Actually, I think it's me. I think that's my fault. I wasn't supposed to be on this trip. I was supposed to go over there to Neviite, and the crew freaks out. They're like, what? God told you to go somewhere and do something, and you didn't do it? And you came with us? You put us in all of this mess because you weren't paying attention to what God... He said, yeah, but I didn't want to do it. And I don't even really care if he destroys the city or whatever. I'm not concerned. And they're like, oh, no, this isn't going to work. And so eventually they try to save him. They try to say, you need to pray. You need to do this, do that. And he says, it's kind of hopeless at this point. Why don't you just toss me over? And so he eventually convinces the crew to do that. They toss him over. He goes into the depth. Water always represents, usually represents, in ceremonies represents spirit, but in the ocean and the depths of the infinite, in this story, it represents the subconscious mind. Right? So he goes into the depths of the subconscious, and something awful from the deep comes and swallows him up. Big fish, it says, right? So we assume it's a whale, but something from the unconscious, something from the depths of the unconscious mind. And it literally describes, as he's in there for 3 days and dark and can't see and doesn't know where he is and is lost and troubled in his soul. It literally describes clinical depression. If you look at the text, right, it's literally like this. He's in a depression, right? Because where else would he be at that point, from realizing that he didn't answer his call? He didn't do what he said he was going to do. He didn't say what he had to say to God about it. And now he's in this place. I don't know if you've ever been in this place. You've been lost in the belly of the whale and you just don't know what to do. But he comes to his senses and he says, all right, I'll do it. I'll get back on track. I'll do what you ask of me. And God spits him out. The whale spits him out onto the beach. And so when we are off purpose, when we're not listening to the universe, when we're not listening to the clues, when we're not responding, Jonah is the story of what happens to us. But as I said, for me, the important part of this story isn't that what happens to the individual when we're not listening, but rather that God continues to call us. The universe, the infinite intelligence of the universe continues to have a purpose. God doesn't say, well, I guess that was a really bad choice. I shouldn't have picked Jonah to begin with, and so let me just move on and do something else, right? You don't get left behind, as a whole series of popular books wants us to believe, right? God, the universe, the infinite intelligence, the love creation of the universe does not leave you behind, even if you are the one ignoring, not paying attention, in the depths of your depression, lost at sea, right? How many other metaphors can we pull out of this story, right? But the resistance came from the fact that he didn't want to do what Spirit had asked him to do. I said today was all about positioning. Sometimes we have to be in a position to do what it seems like we don't want to do. So I said, so that we could get the tools in order to be prepared and available to the greater call. Let's leave Jonah on the whale for a minute. Let's go to the Karate Kid. Remember the Karate Kid? The first one. I'm old enough now to say the first one, the original movie, right? So remember the Karate Kid, and the Karate Kid is all about this second phase of the story here. Yeah, we just went from Old Testament to Karate Kid. We had Dottie Rambo and all kinds of good stuff in the pre-service. I mean, you get a little bit of everything. We ought to pass out bingo cards with culture reference bingo cards. See what you get when you come to church in the afternoon. So in Karate Kid, now Karate Kid is all about being in a position and rather than being in resistance, there's still being resistance, but being in a position so that you can receive what the skill sets you need to receive in order to be about your purpose. If you remember, the story essentially is this: the Karate Kid is upset because he's asked for training, he's asked for mastery, he's asked to be groomed by this great master, and he has him out there washing the car and painting the fence and trying to catch flies with chopsticks, right? So he's out there painting the fence, and he's up and, no, you got to do it like this, up and down, staining the fence, and painting the fence, and then he's out there washing the car, waxing on, waxing off, remember? Right? And he's like, what does this have to do with my purpose? What does this have to do with what God, I know what God has called me to do. I can see it, I can feel it, I can sense it. I know what lives inside of me, how I want to express, etc., etc. Why am I out here painting the fence? Anybody? Right? What am I doing in this season? But it's a little bit better than the position that Jonah was in. Because Jonah just said, I ain't painting that fence. I ain't doing it. I ain't waxing the car. I ain't doing nothing. Right? At least the Karate Kid is saying, okay, well, I'm listening enough. But I'm still upset because I don't understand why I'm doing these particular activities. And then, of course, we know it all comes together in all of those movements and skill sets and the patience and the mindfulness and all of the things, the muscle memory, etc., come together at the right time. And so today what I want to focus on is what are the pieces to remember as we go through, whether we identify with Jonah or we identify with the Karate Kid, we find our place in the journey of seeking to understand our purpose and our passion more deeply so that we can put it to use in the world. And some of this we put into motion last week, and what we said was the first thing to remember was to start with belonging. What if we started with belonging? What if the journey doesn't end with belonging as it does in traditional religious structures and stories of Western Christianity? If you have the right beliefs and then you have the right behaviors, then belonging is the end result of that. In sometimes Eastern traditions, Muslim and Jewish culture, it's the other way around. It's behavior. You got to have the right behavior, got to know how to dress and what the holidays are and all the things to eat and when to eat and what to wear and when to wear it and all those things. The behavior comes first, and they believe culturally that if you indoctrinate in all the right behaviors, then the beliefs will come. The beliefs will be automatic. You'll believe. Why? Because you're participating in the community and you're doing all the things. You're doing the behaviors, and the beliefs will come as a result of that. So it's behavior plus beliefs. And you do those two things well, then belonging becomes the end result of that. But here in this spiritual community, what we're trying to do is say, well, what if belonging was the given? What if that was the free space on the bingo card? What if that was the automatic? What if that your existence meant that you belonged, right? That you were meant to be here, that your individual life purpose is part of an unfolding mystery of human evolution, that God had need for an expression known as you. You were not the output of some random algorithm that then has to work hard to make itself qualified to belong to the infinite intelligence. You are the byproduct of the infinite intelligence itself. You are it expressing itself. How could you not belong to it? When all that you are, all that you breathe, all that you think, all that you are in spirit, mind, and body is the infinite intelligence of the universe looking back on itself. Right? So we begin with belonging. We begin with this idea that I am one with the infinite intelligence of the universe, that there's something that's beginning to move through me. The study of the science of mind, religious science, philosophy of new thought that we study here is a study of first cause. It's that creative principle. It's that thing that expresses through us that we are the mediums of Spirit's demonstration in human form. As we create that divine mental mold, the universe responds with the equivalent manifestation. And that mold is shaped by the starting position of our thought. The starting position of our thought. If our starting position is anchored in a lie, if it's anchored in unworthiness, if it's anchored in not enoughness, if it's anchored in inadequacy of any kind, if it's anchored in any kind of idea that says, I am outside of the infinite good of God, then what it does is that starting point becomes a hindrance to our progress rather than the propulsion of our progress. And it becomes like, putting our pivot foot down. We put our pivot foot down in basketball, right? And once you stop dribbling, you put your pivot foot down. Well, now you can still move, but you can only move in relation to where that pivot foot is, right? But if that pivot foot is anchored in a lie, well, it looks like you have choice, right? It looks like you could kind of, come on up here and guard me, Mike. Come on up here. Come on. No, please don't. Right? But if you start with belonging, then both of your feet are moving. And you're still dribbling. You can go anywhere you want to go. Your eyes are out, scanning the court, seeing what's happening. Right? Am I making sense? I know it's still baseball season, but my cards are done for the year, so, about to pick up my Atlanta Braves gear soon. Right? So if our starting point is that starting supposition is belonging, then suddenly so much more becomes activated in us. So much more becomes possible for us. And then we begin with activating that inner joy. That purpose to activate what is it that brings us life and joy and enthusiasm. And I said last week, the things that you can get lost in. You lose track of time because you're just having such a good time doing it. I said joy is that sound that integrity makes. And therefore, when activating our joy, what we're really talking about is alignment. And alignment implies relationship because you're aligning to something. And relationship implies an infinite intelligence of the universe. So joy, activating your joy is no longer simply just doing what you want because you want to do it and because it brings you happiness or joy, but it's really about tuning in and saying what activates not just joy, but an alignment. What activates an alignment with me? Such that when I do it, I'm now aligned. I'm now fired up on all cylinders to something bigger than me. And I'm not seeking it out because I'm trying to satiate something for the purpose of joy, but I'm rather doing something because it's about alignment to a deeper soul purpose, even if I can't articulate it yet. And then joy becomes the outcome. Joy becomes the byproduct. Joy becomes the energetic field that comes off of me when I'm in that activity. You understand what I'm saying? Yes. Then we begin to combine the mental mold that we've started with, which is belonging. I'm here as a divine part of intelligence. I'm here as a co-creator of the universe. And we combine that with our joy. And then we begin to understand that we are, in fact, a co-creator with life. We're a co-creator with life. That our starting point, whether it's belonging or not enoughness or something else, is critical to the outcome of our experience. So our starting point has to be, we're choosing to be belonging. And then activating our joy is about alignment. And in these two ways, we understand that we're a co-creator with life. And as a co-creator, it means a couple of things. It means that we utilize both universal intelligence and collective wisdom. I'll talk about that in a moment. But first, I want to talk about the co-creator. There's a lot of literature in New Thought, a lot of stuff from Ernest Holmes, if you read any of his works, and other authors, where you will read this empowering message, and it will talk about how you can create the life that you want. And if you're in a victim state of consciousness, if your starting point is any kind of victimness of life, then it's a very empowering kind of literature to read, because you read it and you go, oh, okay, I'm a creator. Oh, I can create. I can create my reality. I can choose my thoughts. I can choose my feelings. I can choose my reaction to things. I can begin to shape my mind such that it changes the outcome, right? How many people have heard something about that, right? Through some literature. 3 of you. Okay, we're going to get the rest of you, get on my email list. I got a library of books. Right, but we know something about that in this New Thought, and it's proliferated everywhere now in TikTok and Instagram and other places, and spirituality, and Beyonce sings about it. Come on, it's everywhere, right? But here's what I want you to understand. You are more than just a creator of your experience. You are a co-creator. It's important to remember that, because you are utilizing a power that is within you, and that power is being responded to by the infinite intelligence of the universe. So you're always co-creating. It becomes an ego trip to think that you create your reality, right? And it's empowering if you're in a victim stance to say, if somebody comes along and teaches you, no, you can create your reality. You say, well, all right, hallelujah, let's do this. Let me create my reality. And then what happens when something else occurs in the universe and you say, well, I don't know how to control that. I don't know how to fix, wildfires in paradise. I don't know how to fix, this happening over here. I don't know how to fix this condition over here. What about that? I say, oh, you forgot. You're always co-creating. There's an infinite intelligence that's bigger than you. And also co-creating with you is everybody else around you, so that we're co-creating together. So therefore, we must utilize both the universal intelligence that is always available flowing through us and collective wisdom. That your use of the intelligence of the universe is you contributing to the artificial intelligence pool. But that's a really bad... But you understand what I'm saying. What is artificial intelligence? It's just a pool of data that's been collected, right? It's the collective wisdom. And so now we can ask a question and it will respond. But what is it doing when it responds? It's going out and grabbing all the things referencing that particular thing that is stored up in its data collection. So when you are using the creative intelligence of life, you are contributing to that data set. You're contributing to the wiki page. How am I doing there? Right? You're contributing to the encyclopedia. You're contributing to the collective wisdom. And so is everybody else. And so we have people contributing toxic thoughts. We have people contributing racist and sexist and homophobic thoughts. We have people contributing good and beautiful thoughts and prosperous thoughts and collective participation and wisdom and all kinds of things. And so the collective is a little mix of everything, isn't it? And so we have to utilize both the infinite intelligence that's always available to us and our collective wisdom, which means be in community. It means lean on each other. It means you only get the support that you ask for. So ask for it, right? I said a couple of weeks ago about, who are you sharing your vision with such that people are on your team? Right? That's utilizing collective wisdom, that somebody else knows your purpose, your passion, the direction and infinite intelligence that is flowing through your life, and they can support you because they know. Every time that you come to their mind, then they're able to affirm, I know that David Alexander is going in this trajectory, in this direction. Right? All right. We got number 2. Co-creator, utilize universal intelligence and collective wisdom. Number 3. Material reality is but one aspect of a whole system of energetic fields. Learn to use them all. Learn to use them all. So material reality is the feedback that we're getting from this physical dimension. So, good thoughts in, good energy in, we get something out. I say hello to you, you say hello to me. I smile at you, you open the door for me. We have a material reality that is responding to us, but that's not the only feedback system in the energetic field system, right? There's mental reality, there's spiritual reality, there's all of the planes of the energetic body. And so, every time we think, every time we put our attention on our passion, we increase its magnitude. Everything is energy. The quantum field points out that we can look at something and turn it from a wave particle of possibility to a physical particle of potentiality, of possibility. So it's infinite potentiality, and then it becomes practical, tangible reality when we look at it, right? This is the construction of the entire energetic field of the universe beyond our human eye to see. And so we must learn to activate all of the fields. All of the fields. Our felt reality is real. It's responding to us. It's giving us feedback. It's important to treat that as real, not dismiss it. Mental reality is real. It's important to treat that as reality and respond to it. And spiritual reality is a whole nother thing. And so we can, at the same time that we are painting the fence, right? The physical reality is, he said, paint the fence. All of this needs to be painted. And so here I am. I'm only doing this one thing, and my wrist already hurts, and there's this much more to go. Mental reality is you can have a good thought, a good attitude about it, or a bad attitude about it. And either one of those choices will change your experience, but it won't change the fact that you still have this much fence to do. How am I doing with that? You understand the different energies? Right? Now, spiritual reality is that while you are doing it, you can mentally be in the place where you want to see yourself 3 weeks from now, 6 months from now, 2 years from now, 5 years from now, whatever it is, you can be in the energetic field of your infinite potentiality even while you're still doing, even while you're still going to the job, even while you're still in the relationship, even while you're still reading books and practicing on yourself, even while you're still in school getting the training, even while you're still doing whatever the mundane thing is, even while you're still in all of that. You can, one, have a good mental attitude about it, and two, see yourself on the other side in the ways in which Spirit has opened doors that you yet don't know exist, right? And so you participate at all three levels at the same time because you are attuning to all of the aspects of yourself, opening up the possibility. You might say, I don't know why God has got me doing this right now. I don't understand what it is. But this is the season that you're in. This is what's being asked of you in this moment. And you don't know what skill set the universe is asking you to gain through that seemingly mundane practice or seemingly dry spell or seemingly, period in which you're not seeing it, you're putting in all the effort and you don't see the fruits of it yet, or you're doing the thing and you just don't know, you're not sure what's coming next. But stay in that presence. Keep listening, keep attuning the mental attitude, and keep seeing yourself where you want to go. As we do this, we begin to percolate a new reality for ourselves. And so, as a spiritual community, we put together a way. Years ago, I cultivated this, and I haven't changed it because it still has so much tangibility to it, as a way to practice this and to remember. You say, Dave, how can I remember all that stuff that you gave me that afternoon? It's easy. 4 things: connect, grow, serve, and give. Every day, wake up and ask yourself, how can I connect today? How can I connect? How can I connect to my purpose? How can I connect to my passion? How can I be available to connect with other people around me, the significant people in my life? How can I connect to Spirit? What am I doing to connect today? The universe intends for me to be a point of connection that I am an outlet of universal intelligence and also an inlet of universal wisdom. So what am I doing to plug in and connect? Is it my spiritual practice? Is it my journal and meditation? Is it my reading? What am I doing? How can I grow today? What am I doing to put myself in a growth mindset, in a learning mindset, in a student position? Who is here to teach me today? What is it that I can learn in this moment, in this relationship, in this financial condition, in this situation? How can I serve today? So often we're about what life can give me, what I can get, what we can acquire, how much we need to save up in order so that we can get the thing that we want. But if we can turn all of that around and say, how can I serve today? How can I be of service? Who needs my smile? Who needs my gift? Who needs my joy? Who needs my presence today? How can I show up and serve today? If I'm connecting, if I'm growing, if I'm serving, then what can I give? Suddenly you begin to, through those first three, cultivate a sense of gratitude and generosity in your heart. Because you can't connect with other people and with life around you and with the Spirit divine that is moving through you. You can't be in a space of growing and serving without automatically generating in those first three an overflowing abundance of resource, an abundance of love, an abundance of financial good, an abundance of energy, an abundance of all that Spirit intends for you to be will just start percolating up inside of you. And suddenly you'll be like, you know what? I actually have more than enough. How can I give this away today? Who else needs this? It'd be more than just being of service in a particular exchange, but how can I give? How can I circulate this out even wider? And then you start it all over again. Connect, grow, serve, and give every day. Connect, grow, serve, and give every day. Connect, grow, serve, and give. And you'll begin to cultivate a passion for the purpose of your life, and you begin to see it in ways that you've never seen it before. And it will connect with this bigger idea called creating a world that works for all. Ernest Holmes knew this. That's why he said this. Sometimes we think this creating a world that works for all is a new idea in our organization. And I love it when I find pieces like this from the Beverly Hills lectures of Ernest Holmes, where he knew exactly where we were going to go as a movement and talked about it long before any of the rest of us did. He says, there's an inextricable, universal and divine urge within us to be happy, to be whole, and to express the fullness of life. That's what we've been talking about, the passion, the energy. There's an urge in you that can't be denied, right? Latent divinity within us that stirs our imagination because of its insistent demand. It impels and compels our growth. It's back of every invention. It proclaims itself through every creative endeavor. It has produced sages and saints and saviors and will, when permitted, create a new world in which war, poverty, sickness, and famine will have disappeared. There's a creative, irresistible urge within you to be happy, your own purpose fulfilled, right? To express yourself in terms of life and in terms of fullness. A latent divinity within you that stirs your imagination, and because it insists and demands and impels and compels your growth. It's the back of every inventive or creative thought that you have. It proclaims itself through every creative endeavor that you undertake. It has produced all of the people that you admire who are already doing your purpose or inspiring you into your purpose, and you think, oh, I want to be like that person. I want to have a relationship like that. I want to have a life like that. I want to have success like that. I want to have this material good like that. Here's all the places where I see the inspiration unfolding. That infinite intelligence, that good has produced all of those things, all of those people, all of those situations, all of those mentors, all of those sages, all of those mystics, all of those examples. And will, when permitted, create a new world in which war, poverty, sickness, and famine will have disappeared. Why? Because we will be connecting every day. We will be growing every day. We will be serving every day. We will be giving every day. And all of those things, the war, the sickness, poverty, famine, etc., they will all disappear because humanity will wake up to itself and start serving and loving itself, finally choosing love. Finally love, overflowing everywhere through everything. Take a breath with me. This is where we enter the divine wisdom and understanding that there is an intelligence in the universe greater than we are, and we use it through the power of our word, through the power of our prayer, through the power of the meditations of our heart, the contemplations of our mind. the receptivity of our spirit in this moment. I know for myself and for every individual within the sound of my voice that great truth has been spoken here today. Great wisdom and inspiration has moved through the service, through the music, through the meditation and prayer, through every aspect of our being. And there is a great calling and urging and bubbling up within the sound, within the voice that is articulating now and within the presence of each and every individual here. I know you hear it because I hear it. I know you feel it because I feel it. I know you can follow it because I have made a demonstration of my own life following it. And I know that when we each choose this in our own way, in our own pace, in our own particularities, the world wakes up to being a better place. More good, more truth, more love, more humanity, more acceptance, more tolerance, more forgiveness, more compassion is pressed down, overflowing everywhere. But it begins right here with simply having the willingness to listen, to accept that we belong, and to open ourselves up to doing our part. So for this and so much more in the ways in which this activity and energy is flowing into our lives, into the lives of everyone we touch and everyone we interact with from here on out, I give thanks. I simply allow it to be. And I release it knowing that it's already so. And so it is. Peace and blessings. Well, that was good. I looked down, I saw I had more notes, and I'm like, no, this just landed right here. This is good. We'll come back with more next week, but right now, it's time for our grateful giving, and I am so grateful for all of the generosity and the support that flows through this Centaur, the way that it flows online automatically, those of us who have it set up to just do what it does. Thank you so much. If you want to be one of those individuals and set it up that way, you can. You can do it right from your seat today, texting 404-800-9467. That number will allow you to give a one-time gift today, or you can say weekly or monthly or annually, whatever you want to say. After you put in the dollar amount and text to that number, the system will set itself up. So you can become a monthly contributor right now if you choose to do that. You can go to our website, slca.com/donations, or check out the QR code for all of the ways to give. There are receptacles at each entrance and exit of the sanctuary here where you can drop in cash and check. You can do that at any time during the service. You can certainly get up and do it now or in just a little while when we conclude. And we thank you for all of that as we pour upon the blessing of our offering these words. Let us affirm together. I live in a universe of abundance. As I freely and joyfully give, I join in the divine flow, and all that I share with life returns to me multiplied abundantly. And so it is.
Woo! How about we give another round for Reverend Dr. David Alexander? And to LaTanya Sugar Lips, thank you. Wow, what a day. Our music team, Penelope, our media team. Woo, you guys, thank you. Thank you. My name's Karen Ratz. I gratefully serve as a practitioner here and am your current board president, and I'm happy to do announcements today. They rarely give me a microphone without a script. You know how that goes. So I'll give the announcements, but what I want to say is we are so grateful. You know, the You Belong and the World That Works for Everyone thing is not really a slogan here. You get that, right? This is how it is. You belong. And everything here, this whole Sunday experience has completely changed. We've been here 2 months now. It's not just a new location, is it? No, it is this whole new experience, a whole new Sunday experience. So we hope you're enjoying it, but we are listening Tell us what you want, what you'd like to have. And so I'll tell you what's happening right now. I'll tell you what happens next is there's a full dinner down the hall in the social hall. We hope you'll join us for that. So let me tell you a couple good things that are going on. For those of you who want to know more about our center, and you can find out how to become a member on our website. So, and you can also talk to a welcome team member after service. They'll talk to you about how you can join. So that's available online or here personally. And if this is your first time at Spiritual Living Center of Atlanta, we'd love to raise your hand or stand up. We'd like to welcome you. Any new first-time visitors this morning? Welcome. And if you're online for your first time, welcome. We've got a card for you that you can fill out in the lobby. Welcome. So we would love to have you fill out the card, and you can give it to a welcome team member, and we've got a gift for you in the lobby. So we are so glad that you're here. And so we have many ways to connect, grow, serve, and give at SLCA. So you can find more opportunities on this on the QR code found on your monitor. So we've got some great things. Idella, raise your hand up. Idella's going to do some stretchercise today at the 5 o'clock hour. So if you would like to find out about stretching your muscles so you can work more effectively, Idella's going to stretch us out at 5 o'clock, all right? So go eat, and then Idella at 5 o'clock is going to stretch us out. You'll be down in the social hall with Idella Veal. There's another option at the 5 o'clock hour, and that is meditation with Reverend Ursula. So it's up in room 220. You can take the stairs or the elevator up to room 220, and that's another great way to start your week. So 5 o'clock, there's also meditation at the 5 o'clock hour after you've eaten. And then have you checked out newthoughtaeducation.com lately? Truly, if you guys haven't been on this site, there's some really good classes, videos. Our new member orientation is there, so check out newthoughtaeducation.com. It's also a great way, when people say, what is New Thought? Send them there. There's some really good descriptions of what New Thought is, and there's some good intro type videos as well, but some great on-demand classes. And then next Sunday, August 20th, Reverend Dr. David Alexander at the 5 o'clock hour is going to do a class, a workshop on ongoing conversation for exploring ways to put our vision of a world that works for everyone into action, right? What does that look in form? So join Reverend Dr. David next week at that'll be upstairs as well at the 5 o'clock hour. And then we have many ways to volunteer. So if you'd like to help volunteer, we've got hospitality spots, we've got greeter spots, we've got media spots. So if you'd like to volunteer, please see a welcome member in the lobby and raise your hand. We'll put you to work. And then SLCA is thrilled to host the 2023 CSL Member Council virtual gathering. And so we'll stream live from this sanctuary on Friday evening, September 29th. You can register now and receive the early bird discount by scanning the QR code on the screen, or you can attend the entire conference as well. So reserve your spot and come here on Friday afternoon, and then you can go for the rest of the weekend on the virtual. And then we'll our practitioners who are available for prayer this afternoon. Please stand or make yourself available in the online chat. So if the practitioners, if you are here and available for prayer, they will be in the back and able to assist with prayer this afternoon. So that's it. That's just a few of the things going on at Spiritual Living Center of Atlanta. But we want you to know that you belong, and we love you deeply and are very grateful for you. Thank you.
Karen? Before we close out, I want to just invite everybody. I'd like to go see and hear LaTanya Shields again, so I want to let you know that Elton Live Tribute Band, you're headlining that, and that's in Beaufort on the 19th. Let's get a party going for that, shall we? Come on and join me as we close out with a song. We envision a world that works for everyone and for all of creation. We see all people, all beings as expressions of God. We see a world that works for everyone. Yeah, we do. We envision a world that works for everyone and for all of creation. We see all people, all beings as expressions of God. We see a world that works for everyone. Yeah, we see a world that works for everyone. I'm looking at you. We see a world that works for everyone. Everyone. Have a great weekend, everybody. Make sure you see Idella size.